right, so probably the one cause of the Depression that all Americans associate with the Depression is the stock market crash. All right, so here's the deal. Gilded Age, only people buying stocks were your captains of industry, all right? Investing, your J.P. Morgans, investing. Well, in the 20s, there was this thing called buying on margin, which allowed the average American, show us the average American, real all dopey like, all right? I want to make money. So they would go to their local stockbroker, and they only had to put down 10% to invest in a company. So they would borrow money to invest in the stock market, with, of course, the goal of buy low, sell high. Right? Buying on margin. A lot of people with not a lot of money to borrow money to buy stock. When that stock rises, they would cash it out, pay off their debt, make a little money, and then reinvest and borrow. And so that was the deal. But by mid-1929, banks were giving out, as a student said in period 5, that I loved her phraseology, banks were handing out uncollectible loans for this. Sort of the same way in 2005, 2006, banks in the United States were giving out loans to people to buy homes, which they can never pay back. So it's the exact same thing. So banks in the 20s were giving out loans to people to buy stocks that really, there's no way they're going to collect. So it was a domino effect. So when some banks started to call in the loans, and a bank can really call in a loan whenever they want. So if they give out money, they say, margin calls, you have to pay up. So they started to do that. People started to panic. And so when people panic, they start selling their stocks. When everyone starts selling stocks, what's going to happen to the stock price? It's going to go way down. So everyone's trying to sell. Sell, sell, sell. And that's driving all the prices down, which means people are never going to be able to pay off these loans. So banks failed because they weren't getting their money coming in. People lost all their money when they were trying to sell their stocks, and all the prices plummeted. So you don't want to sell your stock cheaper than what you bought it because you just lost money. But that's what happened at the end of 1929. Everyone, the stocks went so low, banks started to fail, people lost all their trust and faith in banks, and that sets off a chain reaction, which ultimately leads to massive unemployment. Does that make sense? Sabina.
What do you mean banks give out loans that they weren't?
Banks make money by giving out loans, right? So that's how banks work. They loan you money and they ask you to pay it back, right? And you pay it back with interest. But if they give out loans to people that are not really going to be able to pay it back, they're going to lose their money. So you get money for all the transactions you get, but if you give out loans to so many people that are not going to be able to pay it back, ultimately you're going to have to pay the price. That's what happened. And again, we'll get into this in the chapter 28. Bottom line, number one, the biggest issue of the Depression was unemployment. It was a chain reaction of all these incidences. And at the end of chapter 27, Hoover's first reaction was, well, it's really not that big of a deal. We'll get through it. I'm not giving money out I'm not giving out welfare. He was against direct relief. So the area that he was going to help were the banks. It was called the Reconstruction Finance Corporation, RFC. And
That's Hoover?
yeah, it was Hoover. RFC, because people always say that historically, Hoover did nothing to end the Depression, FDR did everything. That's actually erroneous. Hoover was just against direct relief to American people. Hoover was a self-made millionaire. He was a poor man, and he made millions. He said, people never gave me anything. That's not the way it's done. And so his agency, the RFC, was going to give money to banks let banks kind of get it, sort of like what Obama did with bailing out corporations. The thought process, give money to the banks, that'll help stimulate the economy. And by 1932, it wasn't happening. And that's why America elected FDR, our 32nd president. Right? And we are just about done. Period 2, please hold on applause, man. Period 2, of course, will have to help us out. And period 2 has its own superstar, of course, in Ye. Ladies and gentlemen, Ye Lee.
Yeah, there it is.
See you later on.